And hi everybody, how are we doing? Saturday, 1st of June 2013, we are back, it is here, it is hot, Smallville Season 11. Chapter 49 overall, or if you want to go with it with the actual arc itself, it's Chapter 6 of 9 of Argo. And then next week is the final wrap conclusion of Valkyrie. I can't wait to read that, I really can't wait, so that'll be something awesome. But Argo, oh my days, oh my god. After I read this chapter, I literally just sent a tweet to Brian, Kat and Daniel, HDR, who does the interior artwork, and just basically went, OMG. I was like, whoa. And remember last week how I mentioned that the storyline sort of reminded me of Legion of Three Worlds. Now, again, I'm not going to say too much about it because, again, this chapter sort of follows on from that. It borrows, in some sense, hopefully, from Legion of Three Worlds, which was part of the Final Crisis event that occurred back in, I think it was 2008, 2009. So, yeah. Obviously, with last week, we... The Kandorians want to use the DNA of Fiora's unborn child, because remember that she died in season 9 at the hands of Zod, not realising that she was pregnant. That they believe that they can bring back, well, or use his, her unborn child's DNA to sort of like create their sun god Ra of some sort, in some sort of manner. But there is a twist in the tale, and the twist is in this chapter. So before we get further into that, obviously it opens up Booster Gold. He's not impressed with the 31st century. He thinks that his future, the 25th century, which is, yeah, well, surprisingly, he thinks that it's better than 31st century, and even it's amazing. I love how Skeets actually says to Booster, he says, "Need I remind you how few toilets we've had to clean since our arrival?" And Michael's response, I say Michael because that is his name, his response is, "You'd think they'd have had robots for that by the 25th century." Skeets is like, "They do, sir." And it just kind of gives you the hint, because even Skeets questions, am I just a gadget you've acquired in your unending quest to be a hero? And, Booster's like, do we really have to do that now? And because if, in all intents and purposes, Brainiac 5 was right, what he said in the last chapter, in that he sees Skeets as, he's just an acquired gadget that Booster has acquired to, in his quest to become a hero, because we all know what Booster's like. He's all about fame. He's all about, becoming the hero that no one's ever heard of, kind of thing. He's all about wanting to make money, being a celebrity, all that sort of stuff. He doesn't really understand the true value of being a superhero. Being a superhero is not about having superpowers. It's how you present yourself. It's how you save people, and it's that personality about you, what it says about your heroism, your heroic gestures and such. What you believe in. That's the mark of a hero. It's not about abusing those powers that you have and using them for your own gain, kind of thing. And that's the example that Superman himself sets, and everybody looks up to Superman because that's who he is. That's what he represents. So anyway, Booster finds that the EarthGov police are after a what looks to be a xenophobe, a xeno of some sort, an alien, and they capture her, and Booster basically saves this alien, who doesn't really appreciate that Booster saved them, runs off, and then Booster gets attacked. In the midst of all that, we've got Clark and Kara, who are busy flying over the Amazon to look for something, which is the tomb of where Fiora is buried. We get a couple of flashbacks regarding you know, when Clark is telling Kara how he says that it took the world almost ending for me to finally get a grasp on how to tackle my relationship with. Now you think he's about to say Lois because he already mentioned his better half, but he actually says Destiny, you know, in a joking sort of way. But we see a flashback to the planet of Apocalypse, Jonathan Kent handing him his suit, and Lionel Luthor possessed by Darkseid pushing Clark away to the point of where he starts flying. So all of that flashback is there. EarthGov intervene, and basically they both, Superman and Supergirl, decide to put an end to their disruption and such. So once all that's been done and they save the bad guys, even though Kara doesn't want to save them because, you know, they shot at her first, and even when she saves them, they're still shooting at her. It's like ridiculous. So they find the tomb, and it's like, I think it looks like this tomb was built by Zod, but not a tomb as such. It's more of his fortress, his domain, his dominion, as such. And you know, there's even a mention to how the original Faora and Zod couldn't have a child naturally. Therefore, they then created Doomsday, who was then housed in Davis Bloom. And then, you know, there's so much flashbacks in this. This is amazing. It's good to see that we're getting them in comic book form as well, which is fantastic. We actually find, as I say, there is a twist in relation to Faora and her unborn child's DNA. Let's just say Supergirl and Superman aren't the only ones looking for this DNA. Again, yeah, just the ending, you know, we find out who has got a sample of Faora's unborn child's DNA, and again, it goes back to Legion of Three Worlds. Again, if you've really got to read that story to then understand what is going on in this chapter. All I'm going to say is that in Legion of Three Worlds, Brainiac 5 assigns Starman with a mission that it's going to take 1,000 years to process. In some sense, kind of follows the same sort of pattern in this comic book as well. So wow, I cannot wait to see how it unfolds in 2 weeks' time. So that will be fantastic. That will be very, very interesting. So again, fantastic work, guys. Brian, Kat, Daniel, and everybody else involved. Good Lord, I cannot wait to see how this is going to unfold over the course of the final 3 chapters. So that'll be awesome. Really cannot wait. But as I say, you know, next week will be Valkyrie. Now, with me being in Metropolis next week, I'll try my hardest to try and get the review of this out whilst I'm over there. So I will try and let you know if I can get the review done whilst I'm there. If not, it'll be when I get back, just before Man of Steel, and then try and do a review, well, over the weekend of when Man of Steel is released here in the UK. But I should be able to get a review done whilst I'm there anyway. Right, that is it. Thank you all very much. I'll see you all very soon. Bye.